Hello and welcome. Carrie here from Healing Humanity, Power of a Proper Human Diet. And today I'm thankful, grateful, blessed, honored to welcome Dave Mack. How's it going, Dave?
Good. Thanks for doing this. Really appreciate collabing with you guys on this and looking forward to watching the preview.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. And Adam, how are you doing? Oh, you're still on mute.
I'm doing fantastic. More importantly, how's Dave doing? Man, you're looking dapper as always.
Cheers. Yeah, doing really well. Good to see you again, Adam.
Yeah, we're looking forward to chatting with you, Dave. I just want to say real quick, we really appreciate you and we thank you for sharing your story in our documentary, Healing Humanity. I don't know how many people have heard your story, but you're mostly known for sharing other people's stories. But your individual story was incredible. It was really inspiring. And Adam and I have been traveling around the world filming for the documentary and doing meetups in different cities where we share stories. And honestly, like one of the most memorable stories was you and Adelaide sharing your story on the stage. It was awesome. It was incredible. So,
Oh, thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I'm really happy to have you in the documentary because you shared your own story, but also all of the people that you've interviewed is incredible. That's kind of the passion behind the documentary is we need to get these individual stories of healing out to the world. There's lots of documentaries and some of them are more about science. Ours is more about people and stories. And that's why I love what you're doing. And it was great having you in the documentary, not only to talk about your own story, but also talk a little bit about some of the many, many people you've interviewed on your channel. How many people have you interviewed at this point?
Individuals wise, it's probably about 1,200, but it's been about 1,300 interviews. Yeah.
That's incredible. Dave, would you mind, just for people that are watching on my channel that haven't heard your personal story, could you share maybe like the abbreviated version of it?
Yeah, sure. So I had a drinking problem. I had a sugar problem, and the doctor had noticed, and so he told me we need to talk about drugs and things like that. Pre-diabetes was now an issue, and I didn't like the idea of the drugs he was talking about, so I decided to do something on my own. I went keto to get some self-control back. Keto worked for me, but it was also kind of not working in a way because the plants weren't agreeing with me. So I decided to work out why these plants weren't agreeing with me, and discovered Ken Berry and some other influences online, and realized that carnivore was a thing, that not eating plants was a thing. And you know, I'm not being married to the plants. I decided, okay, well, I'll see if I can cut these out and see what happens. And so got rid of the plants. Keto became carnivore, and it's been about 3 years. And amazing, like for happens with a lot of people, amazing things happened. Weight loss, energy, all these kind of things. But a couple of big things for me were the arthritis I had in my left knee went away, and my balance and strength started to return on my right side after having a stroke 30 odd years ago.
Would you ever imagine like 3 years later, you're sitting here,
No.
thousands of interviews on carnivore?
It's like I kind of shake my head about this every day. Like I did an interview this morning, and I'm talking to someone this morning, and that on the other side of the world I'd never thought I'd ever talk to, and we're just discussing things, and it's like we're on the same page. We know exactly what each other's talking about, and we're like finished. It sounds like a romantic comedy or something. We're finishing each other's sentences, and it's just so never would have imagined.
Yeah. I joke around with my wife and I'm the same way. I'm like, this is I joke around with my wife saying I'm gonna wake up in a mental hospital, and you're gonna be like, "Yeah, honey, you just ate a bunch of meat and you healed everything, and you're talking with Dr. Barry now." Sure, sure, yeah, you're filming a documentary. It is kind of surreal.
Yeah.
What motivated you to start interviewing people?
Um, that's a good question. So the whole channel started just that I was angry because I realized how we'd been lied to about food, nutrition, and all that kind of thing over the years. And so that's how it started. And I was just making a few videos talking about my journey, hoping that get the word out there a little bit. Um, and then being quite isolated in Japan, I wanted to feel more part of the carnivore community. And a good way of doing that, I thought, was, talking to people and networking with people, interviewing them online. And so I interviewed a few people. I interviewed Amanda and I interviewed Rick, the 40-year carnivore. And I realized that, well, this is a really good way of kind of getting to know people in the carnivore community more. And so I just kept doing it. And turns out it wasn't just good for me. It wasn't just good for getting the word out there. It was also good for motivating people who are already on carnivore. Because if you're on carnivore, you're having a bad day and you're thinking, you know what, I might just have that piece of candy. I might just have that granola bar, whatever. If you can listen to someone's story and kind of hear about things that they improved and how they're sticking with it, it's that little bit of extra motivation to make you go, you know what, I'm not going to have the granola bar, I'm not going to have the cereal.
Yeah, it's so huge, especially just being carnivore. We're the odd ones out. We're living in a world where everyone's offering us cupcakes and food, and just to have that community, even if it's just a video. Uh, I I find it too, though, like people that are considering carnivore, where it's so hard to wrap your brain around it, to be able to watch one of your interviews and see like, that's me. Like that person has the same issues as me, and they were able to do this, and they're succeeding. It's incredible. Like I think the amount of people that are finding healing because of your videos is amazing.
Cheers. Yeah, it's and there's always something you can relate to. There's always that little thing that, oh yeah, that happened to me. Okay, I should stick with it,
Right.
or something like that,
I just want to say, for anyone that's watching on my channel now, if you guys aren't watching Dave, go subscribe, give him some love, and share your story. Like if someone hasn't shared their story with you yet, Dave, how can they connect with you?
If they'd like to share their story, I'd love to have them on. They just need to send me an email, realzerocarb@gmail.com. They don't have to worry about giving me all the background or whatever, although they can if they like. Just basically let me know they're interested in coming on, and I'll reply to them and let them know how we go about it.
Love it. Well, maybe before we go a little bit further, we'll show our first trailer. There's a lot of new faces and names, I should say, in the chat that I haven't seen yet. And so we have two trailers we're showing you today. We filmed Dave for our documentary Healing Humanity when we were out in Australia, and we captured his story. And so the first trailer we're going to show you can just kind of give you an idea of what we're doing with the documentary. We're really focused on the individual stories. But the first trailer that we did was a long time ago. The second trailer we'll show you in a little bit is the brand new one, and we're trying to do that one to really show the scope and scale of the project. So, and if anyone has questions for Dave, please post them in the sidebar. But without further ado, I will show you the first trailer. Here we go.
You know, I've been a doctor for nearly 30 years now.
We've all been misled for so long.
They gave me pills for anxiety, they gave me pills for depression.
Our bodies are so deficient and so malnourished that of course you're going to get diseases, of course you're going to get sick.
I believe that I may have caused my cancer.
It is no way to live. It's a nightmare.
I was just so hopeless for so many years. It just kills me to know that the answer was out there the whole time.
You know, just because you put something in your mouth and chew it doesn't make it food. Food is species specific.
We can sit back and we can say the bloody doctors, it's not their fault. They were trained and they're doing what they were trained to do.
The thing that really pisses me off is that the people that we should have been able to trust, the literal organizations that we look up to protect us, are the people who have done the majority of the misleading.
I'm 82 years old, which is just a chronological number. So you put the right fuel in the engine and the engine works.
I've now transitioned from a disease manager to a disease healer. I've transitioned from a drug dealer to a healer.
3 weeks ago, I didn't know this man, Bill, from Alaska. Bill is 700 pounds and he's been stuck in his house for 4 years. You nervous?
I'm nervous, scary.
You know, I live in Alaska, the most incredible place on the planet. I had to have a toilet put, a few feet from my bed, which I can barely walk to as is. I have not been outside in over 4 years. This is life or death for me. I'm sorry, Gary. I'm sorry about that.
Here. Man.
Thanks, dude. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Now, for the first time in a long, long time, I'm looking towards the future, which I've not had in such a long, long time. It's just the most incredible feeling.
Bill Knott. There we go. Is Bill in the chat right now? So one of the reasons we're doing a new trailer is because we can keep up with Bill's progress. He's half the man he used to be, Dave. He's almost down. He's almost down 350 pounds. Started at 700. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's incredible. It's amazing that all worked out. He was the first person we filmed for the documentary, and then we went back 1 year later and filmed him outside in the beauty of Alaska, and it was one of the most, other than having kids, it was one of the most profound moments of my life, seeing him, just tears coming down, just got his life back. And I was, one of the questions I had for you, Dave, is interviewing lots of carnivores myself. One of the things I found is often I'm interviewing someone for one thing, but then it's like something completely different. So Bill was obviously 700 pounds stuck in his house, but really one of his big things was depression. And have you found that where you're going into an interview and they're like, yeah, I've got type 2 diabetes, or I have this issue, but it goes off into another direction. It is something they didn't expect.
Yeah, often. And, you often kind of move from just talking about, well, I had this weight loss and these things improved, to going into talking about maybe depression and anxiety and things like that, and what led to that being the case.
Yeah.
And there's some very emotional stories out there.
Does it ever take a toll on you? Like some of these things, I feel like you're kind of empathetic. You can kind of feel some of these stories versus hearing them. So does it ever like weigh on you a little bit? Because some of these things can be pretty heavy.
No, like it gets very emotional sometimes, but I kind of, the stories are all going in the right direction,
right?
So it doesn't, it's not a heavy thing, it's always like, well, everyone's going towards in the positive direction, so
right.
Yeah.
Is there a particular story that really stands out in your memory? It's got to be tough with
it's getting much tougher. Look, I think there are amazing stories, like Lindy's story, for example, and and stories of people getting their vision back and that kind of thing. But I think one of the most important things that I keep trying to remind myself, because and I think I've spoken to you, mentioned this point to you once before somewhere, but the tendency to kind of almost normalize that people are reversing their type 2 diabetes. We shouldn't we shouldn't normalize the fact that it so many people can reverse their type 2 diabetes, because we're told by everyone else in the medical profession that you cannot do this. And so it's one of those things that as much as possible, I try and remind myself, we need to celebrate this,
Yeah. I'm totally with you on that. You take the things for granted. It's like, oh, type 2 diabetes. Yeah, that couple weeks, you'll be fine. You hear it over and over again.
Yeah.
On the flip side, that's one of the sad things from interviewing a lot of people too, is kind of what you said there, the medical community or whatever. So many of these health issues that people have usually oftentimes seems to be presented to them as a fluke or genetics, or we just don't know. And that just drives me nuts, because it's just, well, the only solutions then is medication. And it's almost like victim blaming a little bit. Like, there's just something weird with you. I don't know. And there's nothing you can do about it. And then people go down the wrong path for sometimes years and years of just yo-yoing when they could have found healing earlier.
It's terrible, because not only do people feel like, well, I just lost the genetic lottery, they then go, there's an extension of that. It's, oh, well, I just lost the genetic lottery, I may as well eat the 5 tons of Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah.
You know? And when you look at animals, you look at the animal kingdom, how many animals lose the genetic lottery? There's some serious problem with humans, that there's so many of us that, are broken just because we exist.
Right.
Yeah. So we've been misled.
Yeah, 100%.
So, Dave, what's the total number you're at now on your channel of interviews?
Almost, I think 1,285 interviews, and that's about 1,200 people in total, because some people have come back on.
Wow, that's incredible. And it seems like you do that's like a 1 week stint for you, based on how many you post.
Yeah. There's days it'd be like five interviews in a day, 6 interviews in a day, kind of thing.
Goodness.
So yeah,
That's incredible, man. You're doing so much for the community. And
the thing that is really, really important to acknowledge. I get a bit emotional when I say this. So many people are just giving freely of their time. They don't have to do this.
Yeah.
But they just want to help other people.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to get me going, Dave. I'm with you on that one so much. There's like a yearning to, and many, if not most of these people, the last thing they want to do is get on camera and share their story. They're terrified. They're anxious. I was too. Like, I would never want to do this, but they're like, there's a yearning to tell that story. And it's not a selfish yearning because they want to get it off their chest. It's because they want to help other people. That's been one of the most incredible things on this whole thing.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. When you find healing like that, you just want the rest of the world to experience it and see it. And I've said this before, but there is no other intervention, medicine, diet, protocol, you name it, where you see healing like this, and then it ripples, and then your family's doing it, your spouse is doing it, your neighbor's doing it. And it's just, I don't know what your perception is, Dave. It's hard, right? Because we're so close to this, but it feels like it's really turning into like a movement, like it's blowing up. Do you feel that way?
Yeah. I mean, if you look back, it's been about 3 years for me. If I look back in that 3 years, it's just exploded. So many more people doing it around you. So many more people, even if they're not doing it, go, oh, carnivore. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
It's really growing.
I've noticed it just like in public too, like at the grocery store or whatever. I see a guy with just a cart full of burger patties and eggs. Hey, you carnivore too? And It really is. It's spreading, and the ripple effect of it, I think, is amazing. That's why it's so cool what you're doing, because you put a story out there. That's one story that inspires how many other people, and then they end up doing it, and it grows from there. So I was just looking on your channel. So for those that are on my channel, Dave is at Zero Carb, No Carb Life. You're at 99,600 subscribers. You're so
That's
close.
close.
You're so close.
Yeah, cat's whisker away from
Let's
100,000.
go. Everyone go subscribe to Dave's channel. Do you
Yeah.
have any plans? Like, that's going to be so cool when you hit 100,000.
I haven't, but because what happened is, like, it's been such a slog kind of getting from about 80,000 to where I am now. And then I thought, I've got heaps of time to think about doing something, you know. And then the last 2,000, it just seems like it's accelerated for some reason, you know. So it's coming across, it's coming up quicker than I expected.
Yeah, everyone go subscribe. That'll be so cool. There's a lot of people that love what you're doing, Dave, and they always want to say, "How can you help?" Go subscribe. That'll help out for sure. That'll be so cool when you hit 100.
Have you picked out a
yeah.
spot in the background yet for your play button?
No, I'll have to hang it on the curtain or something.
I was so happy when I got mine, and they sent me the wrong one. It was for like some fitness guru, and then it took like 3 months. I had to coordinate with them and ship it to them, but it all worked out eventually. But
Oh, well, imagine opening that and you see someone else's name on there.
Yeah.
Oh no.
yeah, it was some fitness workout thing or something. I'm like, this can't be right. What's going on here? Awesome. All right, so we've got a couple of comments. Actually, here, let's do this one real quick. This is from Karen. I'll put this on the screen. You mentioned briefly before the eye conditions, and I think someone else did in the chat. What eye conditions are improved? I love this question too, because I have heard several anecdotes of people's vision improving on carnivore. Are there some of those stories that stand out in your mind, Dave?
Yeah. So I might get this name slightly wrong, but the gentleman that both you and I have interviewed that got his vision back, who was legally blind, it's retinosa pigmentosa or something like that. I read some kind of, but anyway, basically he couldn't see. But yeah, it was that came back. It's been gradual, but it's come back. Also, macular degeneration. I've got a few interviews of people improving macular degeneration, glaucoma going away. It's just been amazing. Like, I think I've probably got about 3 macular degeneration videos and 2 glaucoma ones.
Wow.
I've heard several people. The cool thing with vision, just improving their prescriptions. I've heard so many of those recently, and it's cool because, right, if you get glasses, they check your prescription, and then you go again later, and it's very rare to go later, years later, and have an improvement. They're like, what's going on here? Usually you get older and your vision gets worse, not better, but a lot of carnivores are reporting their vision getting better. It's one of those things where it's like, sounds too good to be true, and then inflammation. Like, you get rid of inflammation, it's pushing on the back of your eye, your vision starts to improve. But I've heard many stories of that.
Yeah, you know, and it sounds too good to be true, you know, and that could go for any of the stories, you know. If you tell someone you can improve this, you can improve this, you can improve this, you can improve this, all you need to do is follow the plan I'm about to tell you. The first thing they're going to think is, all right, so here's the sales pitch, you know, is this some kind of multi-level marketing scheme, or is this some kind of affiliate marketing scheme, or what is this thing? What do I need to buy? And then you say, nothing, just go to the shop, just go to the supermarket and buy meat. You know, that's one of the best things about this is you're talking about something that's going to improve someone's life, and you're not selling them anything either. It's just such a nice feeling.
Yeah, you're not even selling them the meat. Just go get the meat.
Right? Yeah. It's like, go and support your local farmers and you know, just have at it.
Yeah, that was the same thing when I started. I saw Dante Ferrigno, which was a rare YouTuber guy. Like, I'm going to share my story, and now we got 1,200, 1,400 stories on Dave's channel, like Dante's. But I saw his story, and in retrospect, I've thought about this a lot. I would not have started if I just came across. I love Dr. Barry. I love all the good doctors, but if I just saw Dr. Barry, I wouldn't have started. I needed that individual story. But then after that, I did watch Dr. Barry to like, okay, I need like, this is crazy. I'm going to have a heart attack. I need a doctor for this. And I did the same thing that you just mentioned, Dave. I'm like, where's the catch? What is he selling? There's got to be a supplement. There's got to be a diet plan. And after like 1,000, he almost needs a disclaimer up there. Like, I ain't selling you anything. After like 1,000 videos, I'm like, all right, I guess I just got to go buy meat. Like, he already told me what to do, kind of thing. So,
Yeah. And that's kind of, I think what you said there is, it rings true for most people. You know, it's the individual stories that really is what is going to convince you to try.
yeah.
Because if it's just doctors, it's like, yeah, doctors, I've listened to doctors all my life. I'm not, you know, but once you're in carnivore, then when you're listening to the doctors, that's real reinforcement that you're on the right path, you know?
Yeah. Especially if you can find good doctors that are practicing what they're preaching, actually doing carnivore. We have 9 doctors and experts in the documentary, but really the main focus is the individual story, slightly supported by the experts and doctors. You know, an interesting thing that happened with all of this was I almost like the doctor's individual personal stories better than having them as an expert. We had all of them in there to be experts, to have the science and to support it. But so many of them too, I'm like, well, what's your story? And I'm like, I kind of just want to go with that. Like when we interviewed Dr. Kiltz, he has an incredible personal story. We were even talking like we should just not even say he's a doctor on the screen, maybe till the end, and you could just get to the end and realize he's a doctor. But yeah, those stories are so important. That's really what I think setting our project apart from some other documentaries is making that personal connection. We still have the science and it's supported in there, but I think it's so much more powerful seeing a story that you can resonate with. So
Right.
and we've got the main documentary, but what I'm really excited for, I just wanted to share with people quick, is we're also working on a series, and we've actually filmed quite a bit of it because we filmed so much. But like the vision one that we were just talking about, imagine an entire episode on carnivore and vision and macular degeneration and vision improvement and all of that stuff. We're going to have an episode for depression, cancer, mental health issues, and hopefully, if we can keep going, we'll have it broken out and just do more and more because we keep hearing more and more. MS is another one. Just keep hearing more and more stories. So that's the plan going forward. Adam, how much did we film in total?
A lot, Carrie. No, I won't leave it at that. 430 hours of footage.
Wow.
5,500 clips. 48 people, 60 interviews in 4 countries.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's
insane.
been a lot. It's so a lot of people are excited and some people are impatient. Like, why is this taking so long? I just want to speak to that real quick. It really isn't. I've only been carnivore a little over 2 years, and the premise of this entire project was following people over the course of a year. We've done that with a couple people, and we started with Bill Knott. So that takes a whole year. You got to film them on day one, and you got to wait a year. It's only been 2 years. But the other reason it took a while is because this is our first documentary. We've never done one before. So we were learning as we were going. But the big reason it's taken this long is we didn't have a budget. We didn't have hundreds of thousands of dollars up front to purchase Netflix approved cameras and then go film around the world. So it's all been like fighting and scratching and fundraising. We did a 10-hour live stream. We did a 24-hour live stream, but we would do that. And then we would go film and then we'd run out of money. And then it's like, now we got to do a meetup, or we got to do another live stream, or we got to do some more YouTube videos to try to generate some more money. So it's been a bit of a slog to get to this point. But with all of that said, I'm super excited because we're completely done filming. The last interview was Dr. Sean Baker, which seems fitting. That was interview number 60, and we're completely done with the main documentary filming and in post-production and editing it. And we hope to have it all done early next year. And
Wow.
a couple of the episodes for the series I mentioned, we're focusing 100% on the documentary, but a couple of episodes for the series we have the footage for. We're just not allocating our budget to editing that yet until we get the main documentary completely done. But we have enough for a whole episode on cancer and enough for a whole episode on aging, which I'm really excited about because
Wow.
I feel like those two categories, aging and cancer, anyone can relate to, or they know someone they've lost to cancer, sadly, or they have a grandparent or someone that maybe died too young. So I'm excited about, and everyone always freaks out about Maggie, Rancher Maggie, 82 years old, been eating carnivore for 65 years. They always get excited. She's a huge part of the documentary, but also the aging episode is, I think we interviewed 5 or 6 people for the aging segment also. So excited for
Right.
that.
Well, that's awesome. And everything that we put out there, you know, it's just that extra push for this to be more mainstream.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know what's
100%.
crazy, Carrie? You know, we've interviewed 60 people, or 60 interviews, 48 people. And Dave's probably over there laughing just a little bit. He's like,
Rookie numbers.
well, yeah, 1,200 over here,
Well,
guys.
He's like, I did that last week.
I haven't had to travel around the countryside and you know, into intercontinental to be able to do it, you know.
Right.
So it's a bit different.
And
But
one thing Dave didn't have to do was, it's a blessing. I'm thankful we did it. Spend a week working on Maggie's ranch.
right, yeah, I definitely didn't need to do that.
That was Adam. You want to talk about that briefly?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it started with a pre-production call with Maggie. And, you know, we're like, hey, what are we going to do to film? We're going to film you over here, over there, this and that. And she goes, you guys make sure you bring your work gloves. And I'm like, work gloves? Like, I can't operate a camera with work gloves? That doesn't make no sense. So, yeah, when we got there, she put us to work. A quarter-mile of fence, totally kicking our butt the whole entire time. And, you know, and then she flexed, and then I felt like a little boy.
And in that preview, in the trailer where she like jumps over the fence, it's just like
Effortless.
yeah.
Like a gazelle.
When I was 20, I wasn't able to do that.
She was doing that, Dave. Things like that all week, where it was almost like by the end it became normal, like we were talking about earlier. This shouldn't be normal. The other thing she did was, we were calling it the Maggie Challenge now, but she had 5-gallon buckets of feed, and it's 25 pounds per bucket that's filled up. She carried 4 of those, 100 pounds at 83 years old, and she lifted it like it was nothing. She's like, yeah, it's a farm. I got to work. And she's jumping over fences and just running around the entire time. But what I can't wait for people to see in the documentary, you see the muscles, you see the jumping over the fences, but when you see her spirit, like, she has the energy of a teenager. It was crazy. I had to keep reminding myself, like, just like giddy, like, I don't know how else to describe, like giddy like a teenager, but then on the flip side, just full of wisdom because she's 83 years old. She's become a really close friend. She's one of the most amazing people I've ever met. And I know a lot of people are excited to see her in the project too. She's going to be at Meatstock, which is I think the first like carnivore meetup or conference that she's ever been to. So people get to meet her there, which is pretty exciting.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Meatstock next year. That'd be cool.
Are you going? You're going to Meatstock?
Yeah.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing you there. And are you
Yeah.
going to Hack Your Health?
I wanted to, but yeah, I didn't do enough planning, and it's coming up too quickly. So it'll have to be maybe next year.
Okay. Well,
Mm.
Meatstock's going to be incredible. That is a heck of a lineup. If you could pick one to go to, that's going to be pretty cool.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah.
Just looking at the chat here. Oh, we got Bill Nutt in the chat. We got some shout outs for Maggie. We had a whole bunch of people. We had someone say they're going to sign up and create 400 YouTube accounts and subscribe to Dave 400 times to get you to the 100,000. That's good. We don't condone that, but whatever you got to do. Awesome. We got Bill Nutt here. All right. Well, maybe we'll show the new trailer now.
Awesome.
Just a quick disclaimer, because I know a bunch of people jumped on this. the purpose of this trailer was to show the scope and scale and all of the individuals that we filmed. It's kind of an unusual, it's not your typical trailer. We are working on another trailer that's going to be done when the documentary's done near the end of the year. And that's going to be more of your typical trailer. It's going to be tricky, Dave, too, because that trailer, we have to make it accessible to the general public. The carnivore crowd, the keto crowd, they know who Dr. Barry is. They're on board with keto and carnivore, but the general public, you mentioned the word carnivore and they're going to go running. So it's going to be a little bit of a tightrope walk putting that one together, but that one's going to be a lot different than this one. So here is our trailer number 2.
When I walk into a grocery store and see thousands of items on the shelf, that does not register in my brain as food. And of course it's not. This has never been food to any human being for the entirety of human history.
We've been soaking up the wrong information for so long.
Everything I thought I knew about nutrition turned out to be wrong. And it doesn't take that long to figure it out if you look at the actual science.
Your body, even though you feel like it betrayed you years ago, you actually betrayed it.
I was following the rules and getting sicker for it.
I was hopeless. I was really hopeless, and I thought, yeah, this is the way it's gonna be.
I don't think I would have made it. I honestly don't. I mean, I was 69 pounds, almost hooked up to a feeding tube.
I probably had 30 days left until I was dead.
My thought was, I'm gonna die, and I'm not gonna have a chance to tell everybody that I love them one last time.
That's just more pills and more pills and more pills and more sickness and more disease.
I look at people now on the street and I see them not doing well, and I just wonder what the food that they're eating is doing to them.
We're learning from our past way of eating that somehow we're damaged and diseased.
I want to live in a world where every doctor is not managing disease, but trying to get to the root cause of why people are sick in the first place.
That's what being a doctor's all about, isn't it? Being able to take somebody who's got no hope and give them hope. And it's a real hope. It's a true hope. It's not a false hope. I'm not interested in any other profession.
There you go, right in my face. Perfect.
I just remember being so excited about being alive again.
Changing my diet, absolutely saved my life.
Plain and simple, I would not be here today.
I have my life back.
It was like with a new lens, new eyes, was using them for the first time.
Even though I'm 5.5 years in, I still wake up feeling impressed.
I felt the best I ever felt in my life.
I never thought I'd have a life. I really thought my life was over. And if I hadn't have found this lifestyle, that I would not be sitting here with you today. No way.
I'm 82 years old, which is just a chronological number.
Pull yourself up, you swing your leg over, and you're over.
It's not healthcare, it's sick care. We don't need doctors if we're eating properly. We don't need medication.
There we go.
Nice.
I'm trying to think how many crossovers there are in there. You probably interviewed quite a few. Lindy was there.
Yeah, Lindy was there. Yeah, Anthony.
Yep.
Lash. Dante. Yeah, I've interviewed a few people from there. Yeah.
Lash and Anthony were the last two we interviewed before Dr. Baker. I'm so thankful we were able to get their stories because I don't know. I've heard so many stories, and Lash is one that really sticks out in my mind as an individual that has been through just so much suffering. 30 years of just hell, psoriasis and depression and not sleeping, and be able to come out the other end of that. It's incredible. His story is really inspiring.
And that's an important thing as well. Like when you consider that a lot of the conditions that people have prevent them sleeping. And when you can give someone sleep back, that's amazing.
That was one of the first things that improved for me on carnivore. I got a really good night's sleep, and I was celebrating it because I felt over the years like when I didn't get good sleep, my depression was worse, my anxiety was worse, and then some of it's just common sense. Your immune system's probably weaker. There's so many downstream effects. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting some good comments. Let's see here. Pop Eater said, "I guess I'm going to meat stock now." Mike, the carnivore Bigfoot, he's got an incredible story too. Maggie is amazing. Awesome. Good stuff. Well, we really appreciate you, Dave, sharing your story. Love everything that you're doing. Again, anyone that's jumped on here at the end watching from my channel, I encourage you, go subscribe at Zero Carb. It'll be really cool if we pop on again next week and we see Dave at 100K with the plaque in the background going. That would be awesome. so well deserved. Well, thank you so much, Dave, for everything you're doing. We really appreciate it.
Thank you both too. I enjoyed doing this, and it was a pleasure meeting you in person in Adelaide. And I'm totally impressed with also Adam's driving when we were in Adelaide. He was driving around there like, I know this city. I know everything about this place.
His confidence was a little scary.
Yes, carnivore confidence.
I'm really looking forward to catching up again at Meat Stock next year.
Yeah, can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Love you, brother.
Cheers.
Good stuff. And just real quick, I guess to end it, anyone, if you enjoyed watching the trailer, if you want to share it, we always get those questions. You just go to healinghumanity.movie. There's a link right there where you can share it. And you can also sign up for our free newsletter, and we won't send you anything unless it's important, like when the new trailer comes out and when the documentary's ready, we can email you there. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Thanks for all the awesome comments too. Lots of good feedback coming through right now. We love you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Cheers. See ya.